everyone, welcome to Power Hour. I'm Gabriella Power. Thank you for joining us. Coming up on the show, ABC pulls Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air indefinitely after these disgusting lies following Charlie Kirk's murder.
We had some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff.
Indefinitely, and a Nexstar media group said that Nexstar strongly objects to recent comments made by Mr. Kimmel concerning the killing of Charlie Kirk and will replace the show with other programming in its ABC-affiliated markets. I mean, good
murder weapon,
riddance.
where it was hidden, how it was placed, what was on it, but also it was very touching in a way that I think many of us didn't expect. A very intimate portrait into this relationship between the suspect's roommate and the suspect himself, with him repeatedly calling his roommate, who was transitioning, calling him my love, and I want to protect you, my love. So it was this duality of someone who the attorney said not only jeopardized the life of Charlie Kirk and the crowd, but was doing it in front of children, which is one of the aggravating circumstances of this case. And on the other hand, he was, speaking so lovingly about his partner. So a very interesting and
observing through binoculars from the battalion command post, later testified.
Please,
Murphy's
people.
fire was incredibly effective. He wasn't just spraying bullets. Every bird.
I'm tired of making the videos, really. It's just getting stupid, okay?
I saw him cut down an entire.
The problem is what we have now is we have this new breed of, conspiracy theories are now trendy. So you have all these Johnny-come-lately, I would say observant people like myself, who has been observant my entire life. So we know when and when not to just jump on every harebrained idea out there. But now, because like Alex Jones has now been completely proven legitimate. I mean, everything he's been saying all these years. I mean, I saw him saying things that proved to be true several years ago. He was dismissed. He was deplatformed. He was attacked. He was sued for like $1 zillion trillion, right? Because he expressed an opinion on Sandy Hook. Look, think about it this way. Look what happened to Alex Jones in court over just making a comment about Sandy Hook being a possible false flag. And all these vile, disgusting pigs are coming out of the woodwork now, encouraging more violence and celebrating an assassination of Charlie Kirk. And they're complaining because they lost a job when Charlie Kirk lost his life. His kids lost a dad, and his wife lost her husband. So just shut up, okay? I'm trying to tone down the language. Okay, let me start off with the text message bandwagon that we have now. Nobody would text like that. Bullshit. 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 Not only that, the people that are saying this is obviously not a real text. Well, the FBI put it in there because it doesn't sound like a Gen Z person. Half the people I've seen doing this, they're assigning tone of voice to it. Anybody knows and has gotten in trouble at one point or another because the tone of voice didn't come through on a text. Somebody got offended. I've gotten offended, sort of thinking, what are you saying? And they're like, oh no, that just came across wrong, right? So I see one guy and he's out there saying, it's just too flat. Just not enough of a response there because the tranny dude's tranny fellow, whatever, chick with a dick, whatever you want to call it, his lover, his partner, his I share your wardrobe. Hopefully you wear the same size of high heels. I don't care. Anyway, so what people are saying is they're imitating the voice. So they're saying, like, did you kill him or whatever? And then the other guy, whatever, he said, like, let me put it this way, it's a tone of voice. It's like, did you kill him or whatever, or something like that. I can't remember the text now because it just doesn't matter. But like, somebody was imitating one of them and who said, yeah. What if he said, yeah, or did you? Like, oh, I remember what it was. His fellow dress-wearing dude said, he said, why, question mark. Everybody's saying, he just said, why? Why wouldn't you be freaking out? Okay, let me give you an example. They say, he said, why? Here, let me put a perspective on it for you. Why? Get it? Not only that, there's a whole bunch of rather organic-looking errors in the text. There's an M all by itself. There is a word that was supposed to be plural that doesn't have the S on the end. Not only that, the FBI has absolutely not one single thing to possibly gain by putting a fake text message out there. Not only that, the dumbest FBI agent on the planet would know how to make something sound more Gen Z or more natural. So they don't have motive. They don't benefit from it. So whatever the text message is, if it sounds rote and mechanical to you, let me remind you that it doesn't sound anything because there's no sound, okay? Idiots. So the whole text message thing is just a big nothing burger so far. Secondly, if it was rather contrived sounding, it makes a lot of sense. And this kid was smart. He was a 4.0 student in high school. He's going to like a technical college or whatever. So he knows that they're going to see his text messages. But what people are missing is if he gets caught, that text message sounds reasonable to me for a guy that still thinks he's getting away with it. When you put it in that perspective, he's thinking he could text, get rid of it. Okay, is any of this making sense yet? So we know that there's a number of people involved. The guy that volunteered that he did it was a decoy. He's in on it. That ginger, that dude that turned around and looked back, and he's like, yeah, right after the shot, looking straight back at him. He's in on it, at least he knew about it. So this kid, wanting to be the hero, could easily have put this text out there to be caught, in case it gets caught, to make it look like it was just him, the lone wolf thing. So the text message thing, it's off the table. Forget about it. Okay, and I'm hearing things like Candace Owen, the new resident anti-Semite. I heard her saying, I don't know what point she was trying to make. I don't even pay attention to her anymore. She's turned into an idiot, but she was like, people have called and told me, people, neighbors, they notice people coming and going from his townhouse, from where he lives with his partner, and they were different out-of-state plates. Okay, red flag. townhouse. Townhouse is just a style of apartment, but it's connected to a building, like a lot of condos are, right? More than likely there's assigned parking. And people who would come and go to visit him, more than likely would have parked out in the visitor areas. Okay? So unless you have Mrs. Kravitz as a neighbor who not only looks to see cars with out-of-state plates coming in, not only parking where visitors can park, then they have to trace what townhouse is he going to. And they put all this time into it before Charlie Kirk got assassinated, because they're just vigilant, right? And I really apologize that I have noise in the background, but I'm not going to start the video over. And the big suspicious thing, apparently people in these townhouses, that's really weird. If they did indeed note that he was going to the apartment, I don't believe it. I think it's a lie. I think people are feeding Candace Owen a bunch of crap where she's lying. But the thing of it is, where do you often see many different out-of-state plates? I'm going to give you some time to think about it. If you haven't guessed it yet, college campuses, technical school campuses, the kind of people he ran around with, like, the 20 people that are under investigation in a university town, on a university campus, or a tech school campus. When you go to Boise State, when you go to Lewis and Clark State up in Lewiston, little old Lewiston, Idaho, that's the first place as a little kid I noticed there's all these plates from everywhere, California, places like way back east, Illinois, all over the place. Okay, so that's all nothing. And I covered thoroughly that these stupid shooter theories. Okay, motive, who benefits? What's to be accomplished by there's a guy on the roof who can take an easy clean shot with a 30-06, no problem at all. But we're not going to do that. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing you're not getting. See, we're going to shoot him from the side, and this one guy, he's got a little magic gun right here in his sleeve. See, and even though we got a guy on the roof with a 30-06, forget about that, because there's a big motive here, and somebody's going to benefit from this guy being on camera and knowing it's on camera going. And apparently this theory is that this guy was a good enough shot without looking to shoot from his little magic 007 whatever gun and manage to hit him from sideways right in the neck, and the bullet hole immediately showed up here. It must have ricocheted around. For God's sake, people, before you start trying to make up these idiotic theories, can you just sit back and think who's going to benefit from it? Why would they do it this way? And if they're that sophisticated, okay, if this is a big deep state operation, you're telling me that some guy's going to stand there knowing on stage who's in with Charlie Kirk. He's a plant, right? And he's going to be up there going, all right, here comes the tranny violence question. It's a go, Man, as much as I adjust my hat, and scratch my head and stuff, I hope that I'm never going to be in the background of an audience, because I'll be the assassin for sure. They're going to look at me, and I'm always tweaking around, and I'm clearing my throat all the time, too. So if there's audio, that guy there in the green hat, he's clearing his throat. That's an obvious signal. For God's sake, people, quit being so stupid. It's just idiotic. I mean, I never go by notes because I have everything here, but I literally had to write things down. And this is another thing. The timing of it, it's like, yes, there is some coordination to this. That doesn't make it a deep state, high-tech, sophisticated hit. George Soros, what he does is he just throws fuel on the fires. So he knows there's, okay, there's this trans movement. Everybody hates Charlie Kirk. This could have been done on any campus. But in Utah, Salt Lake City and Boise, Idaho, definitely the two most Charlie Kirk friendly cities in the United States. So yeah, the security isn't top notch. It wasn't for him. It wasn't Secret Service level, okay? He had a security team, but he allowed zillions of people in really close with him. Lots of people. This is not like a presidential visit, okay? My God. So, just because you're funded, these deep state people are opportunists, They're like, we'll roll the dice, see how it goes. It looks like an easy enough deal, if, in other words, the level of sophistication doesn't necessarily have to be like, James Bond level. It's stuff like, the pallets of bricks in shitholes like Portland and Seattle, so people can get the bricks and throw them. That doesn't take a lot of coordination. All that takes is for Soros-connected people to just funnel the money to them. They can figure out the rest, right? So, good Lord, this is just getting stupid. So anyway, the timing of it, this could very well be what they call a false flag, without the false part. But the flag part and the timing of it, if you notice every time the narrative is really going south for the Democrats, like, think about it. The biggest thing really right now in the country, not the most tragic thing like Charlie Kirk, but the biggest thing in the deep state and in this war right now, and why this was a diversion for it to happen now, is because we just discovered irrefutable evidence of criminal behavior by Barack Obama, Joe Biden, James Comey, what's his name? Is it Clapper? No. McCabe? Anyway, the subsequent director of the FBI. These guys, they're caught. The evidence is irrefutable, and there is, I believe, likely indictments on the way. And guess what? We're not talking about that. It's like what we all do and what the media does is they will just go on and on and on every single day about Charlie Kirk from now on. And the best way you can have a diversion, this is why I think this is what's behind a lot of this, is to keep saying, well, a little something here flew off of there. That doesn't make sense. I meant to look up the velocity of a 30-06 bullet before I did this, but go shoot one, shoot at some targets and watch, and then analyze the video, and you're going to see stuff that, well, that doesn't make sense. That piece of cardboard shouldn't have gone that way when I shot that target. I mean, quit being idiots. Jeez. What bothers me is nobody thinks of this stuff. I wish I had a bigger platform, and I'm going to get one. I really want to get a bigger one, because, it just really befuddles me to look and to see these obvious problems with all of this, because nobody sits back and thinks, oh, I got to comment every day. When I go to bed and I get up, I don't even intend to make a video that day, but it's like, I see so much garbage on YouTube, and I'm like, do you people ever think before you open your mouth or you take a video, like, ever? Apparently not. So anyway, I meant to make this video shorter. I couldn't for the time being, but geez, all these born-again conspiracy theories now are a trend. Okay, these Johnny-come-lately born-again conspiracy theorists, just like so many people into politics now, so many content creators, They haven't been watching closely everything since, in my case, 1976-ish, being extremely vigilant and observant because I'm interested. You need to start caring more. You need to start studying things more. And you need to realize that, you know what this is directly tied to? This is directly tied to you not voting in primaries. Definitely. Because most of you don't get involved. You don't care about your school board. If you got kids in school, you don't care. You don't pay attention to anything. You just wait until the general election and then you vote for absolute liberal morons like Mike Simpson. And you don't even know what he votes on. You don't know what he stands for. And then you complain, oh, politicians are corrupt. That's not true. There's a lot of really good people that aren't getting paid much and take a lot of heat in the Idaho State legislature, but you didn't pay attention. You just saw an R after the name. And as long as you're going to do that, Idaho's going to lose its unique standing in the country, and you're just going to keep sending the wrong people back to Washington. I don't understand it. I don't understand why people are not paying attention on the local level and the state level, because over time, it is entirely what has led to all of this. So pay attention. Please start paying attention. And before you open your mouth, don't accept as gospel everything you hear, particularly from the people you really admire on the internet. Okay? Stop and reason. Think about it. Think about who benefits, cost-benefit analysis, opportunity. I mean, who's going to gain from this first? Then you can look at all the anomalies. But if you just start looking for something like some guy scratching his nose, you know, it's disgusting. You know, I hope I'm not forced to make another video after I go to sleep, after my grave shift. But I have a feeling there's going to be a whole new slew of idiotic. We don't even have the autopsy yet. And people are saying, suspiciously, they haven't found the bullet. Well, it's a 30-06 round. Go do yourself a favor and Google the velocity of a 30-06 round, and then Google how many different types of missiles. That's the projectile, the actual bullet that comes out of the gun. There's all different types of grains. There's everything from hollow points that explode when they hit. There's everything. And if it's a 30-06 with a regular standard like hunting rifle type bullet and grain, not being able to find the bullet is really understandable, because it would, if it did, it would easily pass right through him, could go right through somewhere and bury itself in the ground. And I mean bury itself, and it's one bullet. Okay? So no, it's not suspicious. Not only that, we don't know what type of grain was used. We don't know if it had busted into shrapnel or whatever, and there's still some in his body. The autopsy's not even done yet. And you guys have got it all figured out. Oh well, go figure. And by the way, a tax-exempt church in Boise, Idaho, today is having an event that's called Shut Down ICE. But if you're not paying attention on the local level, you don't know that. And the worst part is apathy. You're going to look at it and go, oh, well. And that's where that little spark starts in Boise, and pretty soon our community sucks and is a giant turd like Portland. You think people of Portland that grew up there, do you think they're happy that they didn't pay attention and nip some of this stuff in the bud? Because there was a time when Portland, it was never quite like Boise, but it was a lot nicer than it is now. And you need to take control of Boise. You have a communist as a mayor. You know, like I always say, people, you gotta wake up.
Crazy meter. It's the Man Cave News, y'all.